in Ottawa, it wasn't historically a place where people would underprice. But I believe, and we'll ask you for your opinion, that homes that could easily justify a higher asking price are very often being listed well under that asking price.
Well, here's my comment on that.
Yeah.
And it's been, I've had disputes with or disagreements or different perspectives with my colleagues on this. With the people that who I market their properties, my job is to get them the highest price possible. And if there's normal market positioning strategies that can help that, so be it. So I'll use an example of a property, a duplex I recently sold. And, recently that place was worth, it was in Vanier. It was worth 450, 475 or whatever. And now and this was, I priced it in October and I expected to sell it shortly after. And the market was maybe 525, maybe more. Because Vanier has one of the issues where they're going to be expanding this center for homeless people, and so there's a lot of uncertainty in that market. So I didn't think it should go more than 550, 525, 550. It's a little duplex on a small lot, and Vanier, as we all know, is unfortunately, the building code wasn't everything it could be back in the 50s, and there's a hangover from that. But my strategy to the sellers was, let's price it at $495, which is lower than it should be. But it's not that
number though. That five, if you're getting close to the five on the top side, getting it under the five is pretty important on the listing side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But so the gap between 495 and 5.25, 550 wasn't that much. But what I tell my clients, it's quite simply this: it's let's ask for a little bit less to get a lot more. But the fact is, if I would have put it on the market at 550, the outcome that I got would not have been achieved, and I'll share the specifics of that. So here we put it on the market at 495. The place was vacant because it was used by an institution, and they had vacated. And so over I certainly suggested we use the delayed offers strategy, which if someone does not know, it's we put on a market and we indicate clearly on the market, we're not going to look at any offers until 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 days down the road at a determined date. And this gives the opportunity for everyone at their leisure in that 1 week period to go see it and determine if they want to put an offer on.
And prepare for the offer.
Yeah, prepare to put an offer or not. And then at a given time and date, in this case, it was 10 days for circumstances that were present. At 3 o'clock that afternoon, we're going to look at offers. We ended up having 96 showings. 96. I was dumbfounded. And the sellers, for some reasons, did not want showings when it was dark, and this was in January or February, January. So we ended up having to expand the window. Like instead of starting at 9, we started at 8 and going until 6:30 when it was dark, instead of 5, and half-hour increments of showings. But 96 showings, it just blew me away. And then when it came time to offers, and of course, everyone waits at the last minute because there's a perception that if you put in your offer sooner, if there's going to be more offers, that the seller is going to be more harder with the price they accepted. In any event, I got 24 offers. And that in itself, the management of 24 offers it's spinning a lot of plates. It was incredible, the outcome, because there was a whole range of prices between the mid 550s all the way up to 770, which just astounded me. And of course, there were personal letters saying, please, we're in a hardship situation, our child needs to be next to this school. It's kind of sad to see that. And they're trying everything they can, and they're priced out of the market and all those stories. But again, my job is to be objective and impartial and try to get the best price for the seller. So of course, the top one, and 99% of them, well, the big majority of them were firm, unconditional offers with big deposits.
Mm-hmm. Trying to do all the right stuff.
Yeah, I even had someone who gave me a $500,000 deposit. Believe it or not, I've never seen things like this.
Okay, because I've never seen that.
Yeah,
I've been
this
seeing
guy really wanted it bad.
And 50,000, but not 500. That's
there were a lot of 50s and 30s and so on deposits. So of course the highest one won, 770, and the real surprise even after that was accepted was that the person who came in with a bigger offer, a bigger deposit, sought out who was the buyer, because they can find out on MLS who the agent is and find out who the buyer is, and wanted to give the buyer $100,000 to buy the contract at 770.
Wow. So 870.
I mean, whoa. Now there were circumstances why that buyer in particular wanted that property. I won't get into closing those details.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anything like that. It's almost absurd, and it's sad for the. I remember some of the young buyers, pictures of their dog and their kid, and please, and it's heartbreaking. It just is heartbreaking to see that.
So this is supply and demand, and supply is the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things, and I'm sure there's multiple things, pre-COVID, we were already in a seller's market, certainly not as strong. But one of the things I believe is that there's a lot of potential sellers that are not coming forward because of COVID.
Absolutely. So that's compounding. There's two main issues, in my opinion, and especially the baby boomers who have probably more health concerns about what COVID may mean. So they want nobody in the house, and they don't have to move right now. They don't have to downsize right now. Yep. There's that. And then at the other side of the supply chain, the new housing stock, there's been incredible supply chain challenges. I mean, lumber has gone up, I heard, from 60 to 90%, if you can get it. And so all this construction that was planned, the whole supply stream has been delayed and frustrated. And that whole pool of including new and old homes, if so many new homes can't come to the market, it just backs up into the existing market of existing homes. Mm-hmm. So it's been, I know a lot of builders who have been caught in it too, because some have little projects, maybe 10 houses or 2 or 3 homes or whatever, and I've sold them just before COVID and not built yet or half built, and they're committed to that price, and now they're lost all of their profit or a big part of it or more than their profit because the materials they need to buy to build are more expensive than they had planned, and the labor might be as well. Yeah, labor and the scarcity. And so, that is pretty bizarre. Yeah. If we're talking about COVID too, and my background is economics and industrial location theory and all that kind of stuff. When you look at all the elements that impact a market, I am actually surprised, and this is an anecdote from my humble perspective, but I am surprised that the economy has not taken a bigger hit